Calaroga Shark Media.
Idly ho, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Got a couple Trump jokes for you. I tried to keep it fair. I'll explain why after the Trump jokes. The topic, Trump not getting immunity, Jimmy Kimmel said. It was a devastating moment for Trump, especially when Melania started clapping. I love it. Seth said, all right, he doesn't have immunity, but after all these trials, he must have built up some antibodies. Trump's campaign said he respectfully disagrees with the ruling, although if Trump knew to respectfully disagree with the loss, he wouldn't be on trial in the first place. So I wanted to keep it fair. I'm like, all right, keep it fair, Johnny Mac. Do some Joe Biden jokes. There were none available, so I asked ChatGPT 4 to write some. One is okay. Have you heard about President Biden's latest workout routine? It's called running for office. It involves a lot of backtracking, sidestepping, and the occasional sprint to the left. He says it's great for building core support. That one's all right. I asked it for 6. The rest were bad. Here's a bad one. The White House staff installed a new game on Biden's phone to keep him sharp. It's not Candy Crush, it's Find My Glasses. I mean, it's bad. I could see Fallon doing it. Then I asked it to do a Prince Harry joke. I've been very busy over at the Palace Intrigue podcast. I don't know if you heard King Charles has cancer. We've been doing bonus episodes. I've been quite busy over there. And this one's pretty good. From the late bot, I heard King Charles only spent 30 minutes with Prince Harry. In royal terms, that's just enough time to decide which tea not to drink. Earl Grey. Nope. Time's up. I like that one. All right. Bowen Yang, man. He deleted his Instagram posts. Interesting. You may recall that Bowen had shared a photo to Instagram of a note that Lorne Michaels had left for Nikki Haley. That note read, Ambassador Haley, welcome to Studio 8H from Lorne plus everyone at SNL. Yang captioned his post, everyone, a smiley face emoji. He later deleted the post. But social media has been decoding Bowen's subtle protests of Lorne Michaels' recent bookings over the past few weeks. You may remember Dave Chappelle showed up at the group farewell at the end of an episode recently, and Bowen stood as far away as possible from Dave. And next week, Shane Gillis is back, well discussed on the podcast all week. You can listen to the last 2-3 episodes about that. Anyway, Bowen Yang's Instagram no longer contains any mention of SNL at all. He apparently has taken off every scrap of SNL from his social media presence. Some are wondering if he's going to leave the show. So I think Bowen probably is the best cast member on the current show. That said, the last 2 seasons with Bowen as the best cast member have been pretty terrible. Bowen, you don't want to get into a whistling match with Lorne in year 49. Lorne is going to be coronated for year 50. It's going to be a big deal. And Lorne is going to stand there with the likes of Will Ferrell and Tina Fey and Kristen Wiig and Adam Sandler and whoever else you want to add to the list. It is not the time to take Lorne Michaels on. You're going to lose. So what would a post-SNL career look like for Bowen Yang? He's got the podcast. Podcasts are nice. I'm doing one right now. I guess he'd get some streaming service movies. I'm not sure it's big enough to do a theatrical comedy. So I don't know, man. As I prep the show today, the mainstream media has caught on to the Shane Gillis thing. I'm not going to get into that today. I had plenty to say the last 2-3 days, and I want to keep the podcast fresh rather than just rehash that. Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura have put out a press release. This next segment, everything I'm going to share with you, is directly from the press release. And if you listen every day, you know I like eye-rolling press releases because they can be so corny. So here's what the press release is about. Entertainment powerhouses, Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, are set to disrupt the spirits industry with the launch of their premium vodka Por Osos. Known for their friendship and unfiltered humor, the duo is teaming up with Drip MFG, a leading venture studio specializing in celebrity consumer packaged goods, parentheses CPG, brands, to bring this exciting venture to life. All right, so far not horrific. Por Osos, translated from Spanish, because of Tom Segura's Peruvian background and Spanish-speaking deep cuts, meaning For the Bears, is a play on their top comedy podcasts, 2 Bears, 1 Cave. This vodka is by the Bears, Bert and Tom, for the Bears, their audience. Created with the utmost dedication to quality, this gluten-free vodka stands out by using only premium ingredients, including non-GMO wheat and a patented finishing process from Percedo Craft Technology that sets it apart in a crowded market. The result is a smooth, unparalleled sip. The promise to elevate the drinking experience for enthusiasts and novices alike. A top-shelf taste, but at a reasonable mid-market retail price. It's time to get into the quotes. Tom Segura allegedly said, I couldn't be more excited about launching this brand with my best friend Bert. We've always approached everything we do with a mix of passion and humor, and this is no different. Crafting a premium vodka and sharing it with everybody is a dream come true. Get ready to taste the laughs and the quality. It's going to be a wild ride. Kreischer added, supposedly, this is an idea Tom and I have thrown around for so long, and we've really taken our time to do this the right way. It's not just something for us, it's for our fans who've been along this ride with us for years. They know how to work hard, but they also know how to play hard. I've always been a vodka guy, so it's such a no-brainer for us to do something that flipped celebrity liquor on its head, bring a little comedy to the bar scene. How does that part work? What is the comedy coming to the bar scene? So Mike and Cleveland and I are at the bar. We walk up. I look at Mike and I go, Porosos? He goes, yeah. I look at the bartender and I go, 2? Where's the comedy? Then there was some fun boilerplate explaining who Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura are. Bert Kreischer's career has evolved from being Rolling Stone's 1997 #1 partier in the nation to one of the top grossing stand-up comics in the business, and most recently, star of a major motion picture. According to Forbes, Kreischer has been hailed as, quote, one of the best storytellers of his generation, seamlessly and sincerely sharing anecdotes about his family and fatherhood, while proving that there's a way to take his party boy antics into middle age. You know what? That's actually pretty good. I won't make fun of that. They kind of nailed that. Then a full paragraph recounting his Netflix specials, another paragraph telling us about the Fully Loaded tour and the sea cruise and all that. In addition to being named, quote, one of the U.S. top stand-ups over the past decade by The Guardian, Kreischer is a world-renowned top podcaster hosting Bertcast with over 500 episodes and Two Bears, One Cave with Tom Segura, which consistently charts in the top 10 comedy podcasts worldwide. Bert also created, hosts, and produces the YouTube cooking show Something's Burning, which has gathered over 18.2 million views. And then they humble brag about his social media. Is Bert a world-renowned top podcaster? I'm going to go to Chartable again. Let's see. Maybe he is. Maybe he's not. Let's look. See, here on Chartable, you can do the charts. I'm going to go to Apple Podcasts. And let's pick a country. Belgium. How about Belgium? Down here to comedy. The top Apple podcasts in Belgium in the comedy category. Number 1, Alex Agnew and Andres Beckers, Welcome to the AA. Number 2, of course, is Moselin Half Twee. Scrolling. Theo Von at number 40 in Belgium. And let's see, Kate Berlant and Jacqueline Novak at 83. Andrew Schultz at 91. And I'm down to 100, which is Fly on the Wall with Dana Carvey and David Spade. So he may or may not be a world-renowned podcaster. But what about you, Johnny Mac, in your dumb basement? Hey, I'll let you know right now, this is the number 6 podcast in the Denmark stand-up subcategory, and in Denmark, the number 163 comedy podcast overall. Hello, Danes. Love ya. In France, where they love Jerry Lewis, this is the number 15 stand-up podcast. In Greece, number 8. In Kuwait, the number 5 stand-up podcast and number 128 overall in the comedy category. Number 7 stand-up podcast in Botswana. Number 6 in Yemen. Number 7 in Uganda. So I'm going to declare myself internationally renowned as well. Actor, comedian, writer Tom Segura is one of the biggest names in the comedy business. He recently toured over 300 cities. Humble brag about his tour. Segura can be seen in the STX film Countdown opposite Elizabeth Lail. Instant Family, opposite Mark Wahlberg and Rose Byrne, opening act, and Flinch. He can. We learn something new every day. When he isn't performing on stage or recording a podcast, he's watching college football or waiting for college football to come back. Moshe Kasher was on the Last Laugh podcast. You may or may not know that Moshe is married to Natasha Leggero, who recently took her top off during a set. He says he's been so focused on his book release that he barely noticed the fact that Natasha broke the internet. He says, I'm mostly here for her moral support. No one asked me how I feel about it. I'm furious. I feel betrayed. Those were mine, and I'm very upset. Now, to be honest with you, I'm very proud. I thought it was really punk rock and really cool. Nothing matters when you really think about it. So if you could do something interesting in the world, I'm all for it, and they're good. I'm proud to be the roommate of those breasts. He talked about how he got into stand-up. His high school friend, Chelsea Peretti, yes, that one, took him to his first real stand-up show during a visit to New York when he was still in college. On the bill that night, Patrice O'Neill and Sarah Silverman. He said, I listened to Patrice and Sarah do stand-up, and I wasn't offended or appalled, but I was definitely shocked that you could do that. He remembers Patrice making fun of Michael J. Fox, Moshe says, and I'm sitting there going, you can't do that. You can't make fun of Michael J. Fox being sick. It's so wrong, and everyone's laughing. It was this real configuration of what you can do, or what I could do with my writing. You could just be funny for the sake of itself. Kevin Hart is all excited that the World Cup is coming to the United States. The final is going to be in New Jersey, not too far from where I live. Kevin was on Fox promoting whatever he was promoting on a particular day, and he talked about his long history with soccer dating back to childhood. He explained how his own kids have gotten him back into the sport. So he teased the idea of getting a full back tattoo in honor of the World Cup. He said, "My love for the game started when I was younger. I think now, being a soccer dad, having kids that love the sport and follow the sport, it's given me a different level of passion." Well, via goal.com, Greg Berhalter says the U.S. men's national team have sent Kevin Hart a tattoo that says USA all day. Let's see if Kevin actually does it. I want to shout out the members who went to buymeacoffee.com/Daily Comedy News. They've set up recurring donations. Hi, Tommy. Hi, Andrea, Gary, Shannon, Mike, Kenny. Kenny, I just shot you a note on the side, by the way. Much appreciated. So this next one is from the University of Indy Reflector. So it's a college student. I don't want to go totally off here, but the headline, Jo Koy's comedy at the Golden Globes was a joke. From the article, according to the Golden Globes award website, Jo Koy was picked to host the ceremony because he would bring three things: his unique charm, energy, and unpredictable humor. Of those things, he was definitely unpredictable, but I must have missed the part where he was supposed to be genuinely humorous. Maybe I should cut him some slack. It's unrealistic to expect perfection after all. We're all human, but I think taking accountability is what ultimately redeems someone. Thank goodness Koy did that. Not. So what's the issue here? Oh, Jo Koy was vicious about Taylor Swift. Should I play what he said? All right, I'm going to. Parental discretion is advised here. This clip about Taylor Swift is just so vicious. Okay, you ready for this? Let's listen to what Jo Koy said about Taylor Swift.
As you know, we came on after a football doubleheader. The big difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL, on the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift.
Oh my goodness, that is so mean to joke about a football game showing Taylor Swift on the skybox. That is just terrible. How could you do that, Jo Koy? The article says, at the most, Koy claimed his Taylor Swift joke didn't land the way he wanted. He relied on playing the victim and having a tough crowd for a majority of response to criticism. The writer says, I'm so incredibly happy that he can hide behind a veil and call his pathetic attempt at comedy an experience he will not forget, because I will not forget it either. Should we listen to the joke again? Let's listen.
Big difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL. On the Golden Globes, we have fewer camera shots of Taylor Swift.
Oh, man, Joe, dude, that is vicious. How could you just say such a thing about Taylor Swift, that she's at a football game and they show her? Oh, my God. Joe, relax. Boy, I hope Lauren doesn't ask Jo Koy to host SNL. Bowen Yang won't want any part of this. The writer says, I genuinely hope he realizes how problematic his comments were, and that he didn't have to say anything that was written for him. People did not laugh. They did not find it funny, and the only joke in that room had the title of Host. Ouch, ouch, ouch. The first Macau International Comedy Festival will be held from March 11th through the 18th. I'm not sure who's playing. Hey, Macau guys, if you want me to go, I'll go. From the Finger Lakes Daily, your home for comedy news, Andrew Dice Clay reportedly joining Eddie Murphy's heist comedy The Pickup, this one for Amazon Prime Video. Pete Davidson also in this, as well as Keke Palmer. It's funny how names all of a sudden pop up on this podcast. Billboard interviewed Dice, and here, I'll read it to you. Dice performed his final show at Madison Square Garden in 2000, inked a deal with SiriusXM in 2005, and stayed busy for the next 20 years, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to push back hard on inked a deal with SiriusXM in 2005. Couple reasons. One, there was no such thing as SiriusXM in 2005. There was Sirius Satellite Radio and there was XM Radio. And in 2005, I definitely was running comedy at Sirius. I do not recall a deal with Dice. Howard wasn't there yet. Howard didn't get there to 2006, so the Howard channels didn't do it, and I didn't do it. And I feel like I would remember Dice having some sort of thing. Maybe the big boss did a deal with Dice, but it never materialized into a show. I guess that's possible. Separately, maybe Dice did a deal with XM. I wasn't running XM comedy in 2005. I believe Sonny Fox was in 2005, so I don't know. I Googled Dice XM 2005, didn't see anything relevant. I Googled Dice Sirius 2005, I don't see anything relevant. So, Mr. Clay, I'd love to know more about your show, or whatever the deal was. Maybe the deal wasn't for a show. Maybe the deal was, I don't know, maybe you were going to sell radios. I'd like to know more about it. I've been feisty this week, and I'm going to get out on that. And here's why. I told you the other day about the 16-year-old border collie. Sometimes they have accidents, and an accident apparently happened, and the smell is so bad, I need to get out of my studio and get some air. So that's it. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.